herdsmen and the security crisis in Nigeria. Recently, one of the most trended story on the social media was the story of you coming back from an event in Ondo State, and you met some members who claim to be members of the Miyetti Allah association with guns, securing a particular part in Ondo State. And when you came out from your car to inquire from them, they said, well, we are security agency, we are working with the police and all that. And it went haywire, and people were even wondering. Some people said that maybe you were kidnapped, and some said, oh, you are daring enough to come out of your car and to get those people. How did it start, and what really happened? Because people didn't believe that you came face to face with gun and you escaped, and you were able to bring such a very sensitive security situation to limelight. What really transpired? Because the video really went round and the issue has been ongoing, and since then we said we were going to see you, but unfortunately you've been also engaged in other activities.
This thing has been on. I've explained this over and over that even I'm already getting weary to explain it again. But in a nutshell, what I believe, irrespective of who you are, everybody has a constitutional right to protect himself. And that's constitutional right of protecting your life and property extend to your neighbors, extend to your community. And as I believe as a community leader, today, by the grace of God, I've held some chieftaincy title, many, including the Mayegun and Kakanfo of Yoruba. And I remember that in most of our meetings with Gani Adams, that's Aare Gani Adams, we always try with the issue of this security threat, particularly in Southwest Yoruba land, as being of great concern. And I remember in one of our last meeting, while others have been raising that it is the herdsmen, it is not the herdsmen, we come with one simple solution to that. That the only way to know who are the good herdsmen and who are the bad herdsmen is to see that any harm one with gun and whatsoever you call the ammunition, because we have known, Yorubas have lived with Fulani for long. The Fulani we know is Fulani with sticks, and Fulani that are very peaceful, Fulani that are very austere, Fulani that are very warm. And for today to see S-men going with guns, AK-44, 47, all that, and to the point that we didn't say that they are attacking. We just believe that anybody you see, any S-men you see with gun and ammunition should be challenged. And then my mom, I'm sure you know her.
Yes, sir.
She was being made judge of my church. I'm an Anglican, judge of my church in Ifra-Okoko, Ondo State, and which I have to go with my friends. And our way back, right there on the highway, so it's said the herdsmen with a road, doing something like a roadblock on the road. Of course, irrespective of our fear, once I believe I've conquered fear, if that's what it is, because some people have been asking, why don't you run when you see them? I want to believe that to get to a point, your greatest fear must be challenged. And we stop. We call them, what are you doing on the road? When it being that herdsmen will now be the one that will be manning the highway. I remember the days of highway patrol. You can easily know them. We now say the herdsmen are now has the highway patrol, and there is the explanation is as I've stated it. They say yes, they are securing the area, and they are having a joint patrol with the police. And unfortunately, there is no police around them. So we probe further to now ask where is the police, and they put some calls to some police, and I collected the phone, and the police say yes, they are with us. But I queried those police to seek up. But you can't just allow these people to be there. There's no way how it is. And what happened at the end of the day, I want to believe that it is one way saboteur, because some people turn it to political tools to attack the Buhari and virtually everybody. But one thing that still stand from the fact is that the state government, that's Ondo State government, yes, has really never really deny being the know-how of how those people were there. The only issue is the narratives may be different from what I had, but one thing is so clear is that at one point or the other, the government of the state has some contact with this. maybe after the contact, they still feel that they still need to go on. You know how it is. It's in tandem with human nature. If you give one a little latitude, they may decide to move. If you give someone an inch, he may decide to ask for 2 or 3. Maybe or maybe not. The herdsmen they are now trying to go for 5 inches or 20 inches. I may not know, but that's exactly what happened.
A bit funny. A lot of people were saying that why did Barrister Ajulo came down from his car? You are a high-profile Nigerian, and were you not afraid of being shot at that time? And some people said maybe because you are the Aare Mayegun of Yoruba land, you have some chance to just be able to talk to them because it was gone. They are going to put to you now, and you are questioning them, just like a higher authority coming down. So what really happened? What did you use in talking to them, and how did you able to even make them to show you their ID card to the extent that you are even able to inspect their guns? A lot of people start to ask that this is not a natural Nigeria. A lot of people will have turned back. Someone will have reversed the car and say, let's take another route. So what happened? What did you use?
I remember my dad telling me that there's always a very great wisdom in silencing sometimes. When it comes to something like that, I think it's better we should just allow you to go. Because what matters most is that there are some things that are not right. And because I believe, because our greatest concern then is that even if actually you want some people to secure the place, your community, we are the locals of that community. I know we have the Fontas, we have the OPC, we have some people. They are not there. You cannot see somebody like me or a Yoruba man to go to Sokoto or to go to Kano to be securing the highway. It is not done. It is quite insensitive on the part of those that make such arrangement, and that is one of the things that you can see that cause the furrow.
Then looking at it critically, we're in a time that there's a lot of opinion going on in the Yoruba land. It's like there's a lot of awareness and a kind of psychological realignment, especially on the issue of herdsmen. It was almost the same time after that you came in contact with these herdsmen on the highway. It was almost the same time, around that time, that the daughter of Pastor was killed. And is there any fear that you lost as one of the high chiefs in Yoruba land and one of the intelligentsias? What do you think really happened? Because some people say, oh, they are herdsmen that shot her. Some say, no, there are some men who knew her and all that. What is your own fear, and what do you think government should do?
Well, I remember about 3 days ago, the police have said they are coming with a report of what really happened. The only thing that I'm just so sure, because I noticed, we know the profile, the caliber, the personality of Baba Chief Ruben Fashionate. Is the leader of Yoruba. And leader of Yorubas, and for his daughter to be killed, there will be a lot of spins. That is the one that I believe it can never be, because it can even cause another strife and ethnic cleansing. It can even cause civil war by trying to attribute the killing to maybe a ethnic killing, or maybe that she was killed because she's this daughter of a great Yoruba leader, and it was killed by some set of people or some tribe. I don't want to believe that, because I know there are a lot of killing going on. Killing as we speak, there are a lot of killings going on. The only thing I believe we need to do is for us to be vigilant. But one thing I don't really like is the situation where you ascribe any killing to some particular tribe in the country. I don't want to believe it. Criminal is criminal, and I don't want to believe that, because it is something happened and you say it must be Fulani, it must be herdsmen. A crime has been committed. A killer has killed someone. What we respect of the tribe, that as a lawyer, I don't. That should not be my concern. Even the Constitution is so clear that people, you will not be treated by the color of your skin, or by the circumstances of your birth, of your religion, of your race, of even of your gender. And I don't think if someone should not do anything wrong, and you now quickly say, oh, it's Yoruba. It's, of course, even if actually as a killer, I would never allow anybody to say they are Yoruba's killer, because I'm a Yoruba. You can't brand my tribe, you can't buy my race towards that. The good people will find out. I'm saying it. The way we have some people who are bad in Fulani, We have those who are bad in, those who are criminals in Igbo, and we have criminals in Yoruba, and we have criminals virtually everywhere. But we can't say if anything happened, then you say what it is. Let's go after the criminal. Let's deal with them in accordance with the with our penal and criminal code. Then everything will be well with us.
The next issue that is very related to the issue of the herdsmen killing and the recent crisis in Yoruba land is the issue of Ruga policy that was nearly passed into law and eventually was withdrawn by Mr. President, and a lot of Yoruba intelligentsia started seeing it as an attempt to dominate their land by a tribe. I mean, they saw it as a kind of trying to create a sphere of influence in the Yoruba land and all that, and eventually it was shut down, either withdrawn or suspended or whatever. So, but what do you think Ruga policy was about, and do you think it is a threat to national unity, especially in Yoruba lands? Because a lot of analysts also came out and say, oh, that was how Modeke Ife started. The Ife people gave them land and eventually it became a problem. That was how the Jos North and Jos South issue started. Some people allowed some people to be on their land, give them land for a certain level of years, and eventually those that were aliens started to ascribe themselves to the position of aborigines and all that. So what do you think Ruga is, and is it as dangerous as it was portrayed, sir?
Yes, I say Ruga controversy as a symptoms. We are just raising issues and cries, all those alalabalus on the symptoms of Ruga as a symptoms. Why don't you go for the cause and look for a way how we can clear this up, look for solution for the cause? Let us be sincere here. I live in Lagos, I lived in Ibadan, I live in Akure. All the places where my father worked, we have security men. And this security are Fulanis. We live with them peacefully. Every Friday, Sunday, you see them, they will come, they will entertaining my father. They will come with all of them from Sabo, they will be beaten. Even that's from where I learned the little Hausa and Fulani that I can speak from that. Then we'll go home, go back to our room to sleep peacefully while these people are defending, are securing us. Because there's no mistrust. There's no issue of ethnic domination, of course.
So how did we get to that level?
That is what I'm saying. How we got there is so clear. Though the president has promised to do something about it, you can choose to concentrate some very important position, offices in the hands of some tribe. Of course, other tribes, even if they cannot say anything, there will be some suspicion. And I want to believe that is what caused this issue of Ruga conspiracies. Ruga, whatever you call it, Ruga, you call it
colonization attempts, yes.
Whatever it is.
Cow
colony has been on. I'm from Ondo State. I'm from Akoko in Ondo State, in Auga, in all those areas of Ondo State. You see all those cattle ranchings everywhere. It is the same thing like Ruga. When it's being set up, particularly down in Awolowo, nobody raises an eyebrow because they believe all of us we are together. But in a situation that once there's any cause of some domination, then of course people will revolt. So the issue is not the issue of Ruga. The issue is that what cause suspicions of what Ruga will bring about is what we've been advocating that the president need to do. Though the president has already promised to do that, then I believe with those suspicions will not be. But I want to believe that anybody that believes Nigeria will break, Nigeria will not break.
There's a lot of drum of war going on. The IPOB are saying, oh, we want to have our own country, and some people are even beating the drum of Oduduwa Republic underground, and there are a lot of things going on. Some people, even in the northern part of Nigeria, some elder statement that we hold in high esteem are saying, oh, we can go apart and nothing will happen, we're going to have our own country. What do you think is responsible for all this? Political mistrust, ethnical mistrust. It appears that there's dearth of mutual understanding as it were now in Nigeria. And what do you think is the reason, and what are the panacea? How can we come back to that one nationhood that we used to observe? Because you said that we're not going to break now, but it appears that it looks like almost impossible.
I think I will look for a speech given by the governor of Bayelsa State, that's Siraki Dixon, about this political restructuring. I think I do commend that speaks to everybody. He explained the whole thing. We don't need to deceive ourselves. The bigger we are, the stronger we are. Even if Nigeria should break today, the agitation will continue. Don't be surprised. Some part that will move towards Cameroon, the bigger country like Cameroon, as at the time when they are breaking down to pieces, may even take them over. That's when you will see them with shouting marginalization. They want to run back to Nigeria. And don't be surprised, even if the Fulani should go alone. Oh, how will they take care of themselves? Where are the resources? Even if the Yoruba should go alone, what will happen? I don't want to believe that, because I've learned, I've traversed virtually every nook and corner of this world. Notice that the bigger you are, the stronger it is. And the strong nation are those who makes waves. They are those who has better life. In America are not just one. America, there are a lot of diversity in America. People may not believe that. We have the Red Indians, we have the Mexicans, we have the Polish, we have that. Even the president of America, by the time you check his roots, you'll be surprised where he's coming from. So how come they are still united? And we should remember, American fought the Civil War. The Americans should have said, oh, let them go at peace. And do you know what will have happened? During the Civil War, do you know what really happened? It was when they are not united. That is when the White House, the first time White House was burned down, was when Americans were not united. And today, tell me any country that dared even near the White House to burn it down. So I think Nigerians should know this. The day we start thinking of want to, because some people will say, yes, this oil is belong to this. What is guaranteed that even if we allow you to go with that oil, another bigger nation will not come and colonize you and then take over the oil? But if we come together, the bigger, the better. The bigger, the stronger. And that has been my position. But the only thing I just want our leaders to do is, there is something about equitable distribution of our wealth. We must ensure that. With that, all this suspicion of ethnic domination will go back, will go to its lowest help. But if we choose, you believe some position must be reserved from some areas in this country, of course, other part of the country will be a little bit worried, and to say, oh, these people are planning something. I think equity is what makes things make better, and that is the natural form ways. St. Thomas Aquinas have already defined it very well. It's more of natural justice, and that is the way it should be. Once we can ensure that, we all be okay, we all be happy, we'll live, and Nigeria will continue to be the giant of Africa that we are.
But sir, another question that is very close to that one, that I'm sure that you are very conversant with the recent beating of Senator Ikuekuremadu in Germany, the former deputy Senate president, who went for a yam festival, and some Igbo boys decided to mess him around. Even in the course of beating him, he lost his cap and lost one shoe, and he was running around. If you were able to see that video, and the man Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOP founder, was even quoted as giving order that most of the politicians should be beaten up anywhere they find them across the globe. So what do you think this signifies for our unity? If a top and an elite personality like Senator Ikuekuremadu can be dealt like just such manner, dealt with to the extent that he lost his shoe, lost his cap. So do you think this is also a signal for division of the country?
I believe the leaders, Igbo leaders, need to speak out. And
how, sir?
They need to speak out. They need to speak out to really show the way to their people, to really let them know the disadvantage of the position Nnamdi Kanu and co they are holding. I must say this. I've done my little research, little investigation to what happened. Good enough. As at that time, I was even in Europe. I was in London. I was in United Kingdom then when it happened, and I called some of my friends in Germany to find out what happened, what really transpired. Unfortunately, because truths always seem to be the last thing that always happen. It is not about hype-up.
Are you sure, sir? I don't believe this one, sir.
I must tell you that it is not about hype-up. It is not about IPOB. I did my little. Of course, I have a lot of friends everywhere. It's not about IPOB. IPOB just seem to understand that, it has happened to the former Senate president, a respected man who are a lawyer, a PhD holder, to happen to such person. And my
Deputy Senate President,
a former Senate president, a former Deputy Senate President, to happen to it is not about IPOB. The main issue is that the cloth, what he wore, the Isiago, the query they raise is that why should it be on for the, or why should it be made of coat of ham? That is exactly what happened. Maybe if IPOB should hijack it at the end of the day, that's another thing. But it's not because I have it on good authority. I'm a lawyer. I have a lot of my friends that fought for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The day of his release is still the same Ekere Madu that took the official vehicle of the Deputy Senate President to take him from the prison. So how come is that? Are you not saying that he has not shown in good cause to support IPOB?
So you mean it was Ekere Madu's vehicle that was used to take Nnamdi Kanu from the prison?
That's why you can just ask this. So the question is that why did you do that? Why are we disgracing our leader? And I believe that's one of the reasons I'm saying that the Igbo leaders, they need to speak out. Because if you disgrace your leaders, you know what others people will do. If you are the one in Yoruba land, we used to say that only a bastard that will use a left hand to describe his father's house, and this is exactly what they are doing. If you should disgrace your leader that way, and mind you, Igbos are talking of having Igbo president come 2023. Is it the way they are doing it that anybody will allow them? I think they need to think, and that's why I said some leaders among the Igbos needs to come together and to say this. If you really want to be part of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, yes, because you see today some people say we need to go. How many people are saying they want to go? What about the elected representatives? These are all those that you know officially. They are the leaders of the Igbos today. Are they saying? Are they with IPOB in this way? Then why should some few now trying to cause some issues about this? I think we need to tell ourselves the truth. And mind you, who are those that will lose out at the end of the day? Just imagine, I should be there when like Chiba Ayadibanjo should be disgraced. God forbid, no Yoruba son will do that. Irrespective of whatever may have happened, do you think somebody will now looked at her leaders and just do that? No, we have our mechanism of doing that. Igbos, they are not doing well. They are not doing it. Unfortunately, it's just some few. Just some few, because I remember that day I was so worried I called virtually all of them. They expressed shock. They expressed shock.
So what you are saying is that it was because of the Isiagu uniform that he put the Nigerian coat of arms. It is not IPOB. So why is IPOB claiming that they are the one that dealt with it?
Well, you know how it is. You know how it is. They just, everybody always want to be relevant, so they look for, we have done it. That is not what happened. If you ask him, he would say it. And I believe he what he's just trying to say to Shele, yes, I'm a Nigerian, and only few. And mind you, these are the same people carrying Nigerian passport. These are the same people in South Africa. They've been killing. What do they call them? Say, I'm Nigerians. Why can't they say they are Biafra and say they don't want to have that? Is it not the same Nigerian government and other people trying to see how they could be rescued? Look, we don't need to deceive ourselves. These days, to be a Nigerian is operation of law. And if you really want to change it, they are mechanism. Even the United Nations, by the protocol of United Nations, the charter really explain if you really want to go your way, you know the way it is. Though the procedure may be cumbersome, the procedure may be complex, but I always advocate for rule of law in everything I'm doing. You can't just be appropriating and be appropriating.
But I want to ask you this question: do you think the Igbos have leaders? Because it appears that today the Indigbo or whatever indigenous the IPOB will say something, then the Indigbo, another group will say another thing, and it's like there's always a clash of opinion and a clash of political views and all that. Do you think they have a leader, and who are these leaders and why?
One thing is this: it's everywhere. It's universal. When it comes to differences in opinion, it's universal. So we can't just treat Igbos in isolation. Even in Yoruba land, we have our own different leaders. But at the end of the day, what we find is level. That's what I'm saying. And I want to believe that the progressive Igbos, those that know what they are doing, need to speak out. Yorubas will speak out. The other day, the Inspector General of Police came to Southwest and told some of us that, irrespective of all the noise the Southwest have been making about security situation, that from his statistic, which is right, that Yorubas seem to be the most peaceful. I say yes, because that's what we are. We will not wait until what is happening in Southeast should happen before we'll be talking. From the first day, you can see the way the Yoruba will go out. That is the way it should be. You should. That's we are enlightened. We are sophisticated. That is the way it should be. We should not die in silence. And I believe that is why I believe some people in the Igbo land need to speak out to really let them know this is who we are. You Igbos are very industrious. Most of my friends, they are in this office, in this law firm. You see, at least I have nothing less than 12 lawyers as security as it is. The lady you see down there, she's even from South Africa. That's for you to know that we shouldn't have problem with that, because it's just by circumstances of birth. That's why I'm a Nigerian. I would have loved to be to come from another country. So why should I now, because of the circumstances of someone bad, I should now turn it all around and start causing problem? And it is those who are not enlightened that always think that way. Go to Sokoto, have the best of friends among them, the allergies and co. You need to see the way they love you, they take care of you, they even love you more than your brothers and sisters. So we shouldn't use all these tribalism to divide ourselves and to deceive ourselves over some simple things.